Hello guys, welcome to this episode. Of course, this is a family series, and under this episode we are going to look at how can we make our homes heaven on earth. This is Efe Juma, and with me is
Joy. Yes.
I want us, how are you by the way?
I am good.
You are good?
Yeah.
So in this conversation, I want us to be so genuine, and also I want us to help our audience or our viewers to have the best view of their family, and we want also to help them grow in their family.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things or one of the challenges that make our families go down or make our relationship get affected or deteriorated is usually comparison, or if I can say broadly, is usually we say peer pressure, right? So I want us to see what are some of the peer pressure that can make our families go down. Yeah. So our audience, just sit back and relax as you enjoy this conversation. Okay, we were saying something. Help me, that and it's making noise for us. Help me there. Now there's something we are saying. You are saying something about family being. Do you have perfect families? Do you have perfect families or not? Right?
Yes.
So let's start with there. Now, can you say something on whether we have perfect families or not?
I don't think they are perfect families.
You don't think they're perfect family. So I wanted to say that the perfection of particular family, and that's what we are eyeing. Okay, we want a family that it is a holistic family, meaning a family that is balanced, a family that what you just have in that family, you don't have a problem in that family.
Yeah.
What you have in that family is pursuing growth, right?
Yes.
Because what will make you say that the family is not perfect? So let's start with that. What will make you say that your family is not a perfect family?
The problems that we are currently
Which are the problems? Let's start one by one and address them.
Financial problems.
Financial problems. Let's begin there. If you say that finance is a problem in our family, and this family is made up of two people, that is the spouses, right? Leaving alone the children, because the children at their younger age, they're still not contributing to the finances of that family.
Yeah.
In fact, they're dependents of this particular family. So it is a matter of two people, the husband and the wife, or the spouses, right? So if you say that finance is a problem, is this a problem? Is it how is this a problem? Is it a problem to you or to me or to the family generally?
Generally.
To the family generally.
Yes.
But how about if we change our view on how we see that financial as not a problem, but we see it as something that we're just pursuing? Because I'm convinced that there is no particular day that will say that we have enough in terms of when it comes to money. There is no that day that will say that now it's enough. We have all we need, right? So if we say that lack of money is a problem, then are we going to solve this any soon? Because first of all, we say that money will never be enough.
True.
So if lack of money is a problem, will we is there any time that we'll say that now we don't have any problem with regard to money?
No.
So in other words, you're trying to say that people cannot have a good family if you look it in the angle of finances.
They can. They can if they know this is the problem. If they're working towards solving it, then well and good. But if they just sit down, or if they neglect the financial problems, then obviously there will be a problem. Yeah. Or if one of the spouses, in that scenario, you have said two. So if one of the partners decides to step back and leave the responsibility to one partner, I'm sure it's going to be a bigger problem than it already is.
Okay, we had discussed that, and we had such a debate with someone. So in this your example, who stepped back, the husband or the wife?
Any.
Personally, I have no problem if my wife step back.
Personally, that's you.
You see, I said very well that you see, a marriage or a family is being driven by ideas and ideology, right? So for us to solve this problem, we must understand our ideologies. When you people are in that marriage, you must understand your ideologies, right? There are those people that one person is the provider and they are okay.
True.
For example, I might be taking care of the responsibilities that we have. If as a man is to provide, right? I do the provision, I do everything. The money you have, you can just choose to come in, but it's not an obligation on your side. That is as per ideology you subscribe to, right?
Yeah.
Because, do you know why I'm saying this? If we reverse this situation whereby you are the one who is providing, or you be in a position of provision, it will bring a challenge to that. It will bring now a real challenge to that particular family, because you ladies, anytime that you do the provision side, usually also try to override us, like to take control over the family, like something like that. So that's that. A man, you tend to make a man now to be a child or a girl or a lady.
But what if he's not providing? It's me. I have stepped into his shoes. I am taking his role. So see, I am acting like him.
So that's why I'm saying, for a man who want this 50-50 kind of sharing of responsibility in a particular house, be sure that you will have challenges. Because if in any of these aspects that you've decided that now in this one we are going to share the responsibility 50-50. Let's say, for example, the lady brings 50 in terms of the finances, then the man also contributed to 50%, right? So it means some of the ladies will always want now you power share some of even the things that are so obvious that they're supposed to be helping you with, right? Yeah, so those are the things that makes some men now, when they get to their senses, or maybe when you receive a guest and you can't even tell your spouse to help you with a glass or serve you something, because it's a 50-50 thing, right? Or maybe she comes in with a friend. When that lady comes in with a friend, then instruct you when you are doing something that go to the kitchen and bring serve us something.
Is that a problem? Problem, really?
It's not a problem to you? You don't see it as a problem? It's a big deal, and if you do that, that man will be suffocating.
Okay.
And he will try to see on how they can get out of the problem. And that's where you usually find that there are men that they cheat just because of that. They are trying to find somewhere where they can finance fully and they get the due respect that they want, right? So you will always find that sometimes you're with a man, you're supporting a man, and this man is from the same finances that maybe you are sending this man is sending to another lady. Why? Because the lady who this money is sent to will give the respect to this man, because with her, she knows that this man is the one providing for her. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So she will accord this man the respect needed, and that this man will be drawn more closer to that lady than you, who is even sponsoring all this thing. So
okay.
This thing, so I'm just trying to say that for a family to be a family, we must look at our mindset. We must look at our ideologies, right? Because that's what will drive family towards success. That's what will bring the peace of mind in that particular family. And that is the essence of this particular conversation, or the series of the conversation that we'll be having in the family. This being episode 1, right? So what I'm saying is, finances, when you talk about finances, it depends on how you people are looking at these finances, right? If we are in a challenge or we are having financial struggles, but you are positive about the financial struggle, I'm also positive about the financial struggle, it won't be a challenge to us, because with us, we are not viewing it as a challenge. We are looking at it as it's just a situation that we are going through, and it's a momentum thing. It's something that is just taking place in a particular moment, and we believe that we'll get through this.
Okay.
So if both of you are having such mentality, it means that this thing won't bring, because it's a collective effort, right? So you won't come to me starting to tell me that, which kind of a man are you? You are a deadbeat man. You are a good for nothing man, right? And also, as a man, I won't come to you and tell you, what are you helping me with, right? I'm really burning out to ensure that we get this. You understand?
Yeah.
So the most important thing here is, how are we viewing this? If it is finances, how are we viewing the situation?
Okay.
Right?
So that's a two people scenario. What about when the partner is one? Single parent families. So if it's one person,
we are not encouraging single parenting or something like that.
I know.
Unless if it's brought up with some unavoidable circumstances like death.
Yeah.
But
so
for
in that scenario, so if one is alone, sometimes friends cannot be enough.
Okay.
And you need that person to be there, to be supportive, as you are saying.
But you can get one. Who said that if your spouse goes, you can't get another one?
The Bible.
Which Bible? Which Bible says that? If you okay, it will depend. Sometimes, okay, let us be practical,
okay,
so that we don't talk as if we are not living in this particular world.
Yeah.
Now, we have circumstances. Sometimes you will find that maybe, unfortunately, if your husband, is it a problem if the wife is the one which is not there? Okay, mostly you are looking at this situation where is the mother who is left with the children, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we will find that this, maybe if it happened that this incident happened at a point whereby maybe you are at the age of 45, right? 45 and above. At that particular time, if you are that planful when you are in this marriage, it means that you could have created what we call a buffer or a fallback, like a backup plan. For example, all this period, maybe you could have secured insurance policies for your children, right? So when it comes to school fee, the children are covered, right? Maybe the premium that you've been paying for these children already, they have that money there. So if it means school fee is not a problem, right? Now, when it comes to health coverage, of course, you've been in the insurance health coverage, right?
Yeah.
So when you are doing this, maybe you did one or two, three things that you have some investments you did, right? So it will only become a challenge when you did not plan this family from the start. You had no investment in place. You had nothing, such that you were just depending on hand to mouth kind of a situation, whereby when you get a salary, you spend it all, then you wait for another salary. That's when it become a big deal. But if you are planned enough, such that you are secluding some of the income that you are getting to ensure that you secure your future. For example, coming up with some investments, you do some savings and all that. If you accumulated this, it won't give you that much stress, because you can continue with the job that you are doing, and at the same time you have some you have some resources that are there, like from the investment. Even if your husband was working, it means that they were pensionable, and if you die, then it means that you can go and claim that pension, and bring that pension and use it to do some the pension benefits, to do something with it, right? Or start a business, or do something that can be constructive to ensure that you don't suffer throughout something like that.
Okay.
And some people can also have life insurance. If you have life insurance, if this person dies, it means that the spouse who is remaining will be given what? The sum assured. And with that money, it's surely a good money. You can use that to do something with, right?
Okay.
And just continue with your life.
So what I'm getting from all this is that perfectionism, as I might say, will come with how you view your problems.
How you view your problems.
Your mindset.
Yes.
Okay, so we were talking about peer pressure.
Yes.
So
and peer pressure is a mindset. So that's why I was saying the problem will only come because of a peer pressure.
True.
Right? We are getting some resources, but because you went outside there and made a story with a colleague, right? Or some of the people that you have in your circle, you went to a party, and happened that a party was held in a particular place, maybe in a better estate than where you stay.
But human is to error.
What is the error there? Like when you go there, you compare the status of how those people were living. Then you come back here, you tell me that we should achieve that one in one day. And if not, you are leaving. Now you see, that's now the problem. Okay. Like you don't have me in your shoe. You don't okay. If you wanted to change that, why don't you just change it yourself?
And also the scenario you're giving, it will not just happen in a day. It depends how frequent the person goes to those kind of places.
Let me tell you.
The image starts building up. This is what I want. Why don't I have this? Why am I living like this? Why are we having this?
Some are ambitious, such that when they see that, they come back and say they start regretting. Why did I even marry this person in the first place? Why did I even give a yes to this person? Starting to regret that could be some people better than him outside there. So you start seeing him as a problem. You understand?
Yeah.
That's where all these things starts. So what I'm saying is everything begins with your ideology. So that's why for a marriage to be stable, both of you must be having the same ideology of that particular marriage. If you see something better outside there, you just come and tell me that, you see, by the way, exposure is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I saw where we went, I saw this and this. Actually, those people are having this, those people are having this. Do you think we can also get there? And then we bring it, say, okay, if you have the good picture of that, then I think we should put that one in some of the goals that we have, right? Yes. If you do that one, it's a positive, because now you've brought it, and because for any good thing to come, we must put the effort, we must work for it, and even when you're working for it, there must be a time lapse for something to happen.
Okay.
Anything that you want to achieve, you must give it time. You won't say that I want this today and tomorrow you have it.
So approaching someone here matters. How you'll say it.
And that approach comes with your ideology. You know that when you put it this way, you are going to offend this particular. Let me give another instance. We have, for example, we have a country as a whole. A country has a constitution, and constitution is trying to protect the people or the subjects in that particular country. So in the house also we should have that constitution, and in that constitution itself should be promoting this. For a country, we say that you are a citizen to a particular country. Now, in this family, you must also be a patriot to this particular family. Like we have a family to grow. So your interest is to grow this family. If you find something outside there that is better, that this family would emulate, then bring it, fight for it. But not by making subjects of this particular family to suffer because of that. Or not running away from this particular family, trying to jump into the other one, right? So that is the main thing. So peer pressure, comparing yourself with other people, then you want to achieve whatever you saw there in one day or overnight. It's bringing problem.
Yeah.
Now, some people have even jumped out of their relationship and left their spouses when they were low. Okay, and failed to buy the idea of their spouses, right? Then later on, because this person kept on or stuck with the idea they had, right? These people end up achieving in the future. Then maybe this person who left for a greener pasture found that it was not a greener pasture. It was something that was. It was not really a greener pasture. It was a fake lifestyle, right? So they get there, then they realize that even where I left was better. Coming back, find this person already has made it, right? They again bring pressure they want to come to on board in this particular family again. You see, that's already a betrayal, right? So would you give in to such person? Would you let that person again come back into this particular home? No. So that's how some people end up messing their lives, right? So if you find yourself that you are blaming the marriage you are in, you should be the first person to be blamed, because the first thing you're supposed to ensure that you personally you do all that are in your capability, or all that in your capacity to understand that this family I'm getting into, is it the family I want? This person that I want to make a family with, is this the person that I like?
Evaluation.
You have to evaluate the person. You really don't rush. Take your time, right? Get to, and because I've given you a hint here that don't judge somebody based on the material things this person is having. Judge someone based on the ideas this person is having, because everything is made from idea, right? So if this person is having the right idea, the right mindset, just give that person time. Everything will come in place. You understand? So family can be perfect, and I can attest to that family can be perfect. Personally, the family I come from is a perfect family, right? Why? Because of the ideas that we have, right? Problem will only come if one person is giving the other person pressure. Like I've said very well, lack of some necessity is not a problem. It is a situation in life, right? And the necessity and also classification of these wants and needs differ, right? Somebody would see a car as a basic need to them, like as a necessity, as a want that they need, they can't prioritize, right? There's somebody who would see a car as a luxurious stuff, right? So you see, this thing, it depends with how you people are viewing this stuff. Are we right there? So do you agree that we can have a perfect family? So perfect family is you. So if you are saying that there is no perfect family, it means that you are not perfect, you as individual. because family is made of the two of you, right? And if you push a blame to somebody, then we still push the blame on you because it's you who made the decision. I've seen some people later on, when you are in marriage, you start abusing each other, that you are a foolish guy. How could you even fall for a foolish guy in the first place? Right? If you abuse your spouse, then okay, for somebody who is critically thinking or who is analytical, will know very well that you are the problem. Because if that foolish person could convince you to settle and go with him or go with her, then it means you are below.
Okay.
You are below him or you are below her, right? Yes. So that's the main point. Maybe if you can add something.
Just to close up on that, so I've learned that your view matters, your ideas matter, your mindset, and also time as a resource here is also it's needed. So yeah, he has covered that well, so we'll move to another one. And I'd like to say that another bad impact of peer pressure on family or marriage as a whole is also peer pressure can influence the decision making in the home. If you this peer pressure can be from your work colleagues, from your friends, from the society as a whole, actually. Also your family members, some of your family members can influence whatever decisions you're making in the house. So yeah, what do you have to say?
Okay, on that, still putting it on what we've mentioned about your mentality, first of all. So this one will also help you even in the workplace, right? There are some company that you should avoid once you've heard what they say, what they speak. Like personally, I can't judge you before I hear what you speak, right? Is until you tell me what is in you, what is in your mind, what is in your brain, what you think of, is when I'll start now putting you, classifying you, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so if you get somebody who is, because you will never distinguish between someone's ideology with what those people are talking, right? So you will always think, anytime that you are talking, you will always be talking your ideology. You will be always talking of your school of thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So if I hear you, whatever you talk is not aligning with what I believe in to be right, then I should not even give you a chance. I should not even give myself a chance to listen to you in the first place. For example, somebody embracing the idea of you should have a balanced diet, in quotes. Do you get my point?
Yes.
You should have a balanced diet, in quote. And this ideology of having a balanced diet, what are these people promoting? They are promoting cheating.
Yeah.
Right? So if you get close to this person and start now listening to how are they breaking down their ideology, you might get swayed to that direction.
What if they are putting it to be a good thing?
Is it a good thing in the first place?
Obviously, it's not a good thing, but how they present it.
You see, we have what we call facts. There's what we call facts.
Okay, let's say maybe they've closed their left side of the brain.
For example, they have me. For you to convince me otherwise, you must give me the facts that can be proven, right? For example, if you talk about the diet, and you understand that human being is just the human being the way the human.
Yeah.
So which diet is this? Because if you talk to the normal food, if you talk about diet, then if we talk about meat, it's a bit different from fish.
Yeah.
Right? If you talk about, like, there is difference, right? Even naturally, the substance they have is different.
Yeah.
We have protein, we have carbohydrate, we have vitamins, right? Yeah, so you understand that it is true, that is factual. But when you come this other side, you can't distinguish them. You cannot distinguish it. And even that distinction come with your mentality, right? What you are creating in your in your mind, right? Sometimes, by the way, people do enjoy pleasure which does not exist. It's because it's just in your mind.
Yeah.
So you perceive, you just get what you perceived or what you expected, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And again, if you say that this whatever I have is no longer comfortable, I'm no longer why are you not comfortable? Because in the first place you are convinced that this is the thing. So what I'm saying, let us not get into marriage when you're not prepared.
Okay.
And getting prepared means that you have enough information when you come to marriage. Marriage requires information than even the job that you do. It requires information, because when you talk about job, you are not the only person in the company. So if it means that even if you have a challenge, you can always, somebody can replace you.
Yeah.
But when you talk about marriage, it's either you make the marriage successful or it fails. Yeah. Nobody will come to the rescue of that marriage, because you are the managers, you are the directors of that particular institution. All right? You understand?
Yeah.
So the main thing, don't hurry with marriage. Just ensure that you have the information needed to sustain that family. Right? Just like I've told you, money is just part of it. But even if you have money, but you've not worked in your information, you will still be having divorce. You will not sustain marriage with money alone.
Yeah.
You need information.
Yeah.
And I can say that with information, I believe that if we compare somebody who is having excess money with no information, and somebody who is having money, having little money with more information, the person will enjoy the marriage than the person who is just having money.
Yeah.
You can't sustain marriage with just money alone, because money will buy you the essential goods, all the services, all the things that you need. But that emotional connection require the knowledge.
Yeah.
You must know what to tell your spouse and at what time, right?
Yeah.
You cannot just come because you have money, you just talk anything you want. Yes, so that sometimes bring pressure in even these families. And some people, I guess you've seen some people who are getting out of a family which is well off. They have wealth that can even go to the 7th generation. But this person is getting out of this marriage. Why? And if money is all, money is not all.
Yeah.
The most important thing in the family, which will make family to work, is knowledge, the information. Because what will bring the problem in that family is that lack of that information.
Yeah.
So if you have information in all aspects, you will find that your marriage will thrive. For example, somebody come with the idea of somebody's want to influence you to go to a particular direction. Because you have knowledge, you will not fall a victim to that. Okay, you will distance yourself from such, right?
Yes.
So even the peer pressure itself cannot affect you if you have the right information, right? And the information also will never be enough. So it's something that you must yearn to accumulate as much as possible.
Yeah.
Keep on learning every day, right? So be open to learning, keep on. And there's something also here I have to warn our viewers with respect to family. Now, there are people who are saying that they have a family that they look up on. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
They have a family that they look up on, such that they believe that those are the people that have the information that they really need to
achieve what.
Yes. So you sometimes they like they make their, for example, let's say me and you.
Yes.
Okay, we are spouse, and there is a family I've told you see this particular family, this is whom I look up on. Like these are my fathers, these are my mothers, right? whom I look upon, and this is how I want our family to be. The first thing, I've done a mistake. Why? Because I've given you that trust. You will have to trust them. You will have to trust them because I've endorsed them, right? So if they turn not to be the person the people I was describing, then it means we are in problem.
Yes.
You will be freely, because I trust them, I'll just let you always go and consult, have them, consult with them, be with them for some time so that you can learn.
Can learn.
But if one of them take advantage of you, it means that our family will be messed.
Yes.
Because they will have easy time to convince you, because already I've told you that they're the right people, right? So if they just do simple thing to get into you, you are there.
Yeah.
You start cheating, right?
Yes.
So it's very important to know that some important information about family people don't share. So what you might be seeing from outside might not be the actual thing in the inside, right?
Yeah.
So there's some information you might be seeing, and that's what we call peer pressure. You are just seeing things
outside.
prima facie. Like, in other words, you are just seeing it from outward, right? You don't know the details. You don't know what is behind the curtains, right? You understand? So create your own. Don't go and say that I want to be like this family, right? Just create your own. Any single person outside there who is looking towards getting married, ensure that you have your information, you have the idea on how you are going to run your family. Don't start a family, then you say that I have a family that I'm looking up on, right? There is a family that I'm proud of. There's a family that I'm eager about, that I want to copy. Don't copy, because sometimes what you are copying is something that you don't know what is making that thing to work that way, right? So you just want to copy and you don't know what is making that happen. You will fail, because you are copying something that you don't have all the material facts pertaining to it, right? Yeah. So we are the one making the family, and you must have adequate information before you get into a family.
Yes.
So we are narrowing out money. Money is essential for living, but money does not guarantee a successful relationship or a successful marriage, right?
Yes.
So even if you have that money, use that money to buy information. Don't use that money to buy love.
Okay.
Do you get the point?
Yeah.
Use the money to buy information. Then use that information to get the love, right? But don't use money direct to get the love.
Okay. I hope they're listening.
I've seen people who even go into debt because they want to impress their spouses.
Very true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You go into debt because you want to furnish your house, because you've been given pressure that we can no longer sit in these seats. I can no longer sit in a single room. I can no longer live in a bed sitter. I can no longer live in a 1 bedroom. I can no longer live in a 2 bedroom. I can no longer live in 3 bedroom. I need my own home. Yes? Do you get it?
Yeah.
So because of that pressure, because you want to make this person, like, in other words, you want to buy the love of this person, you go into debt. You say, okay, being that I don't have money, I don't want to steal, let me go for a loan.
Yeah.
You take a loan, you buy the house or you build the house. Then after that, this loan, the repayment of this loan will eat into the income that you are receiving. So even if you are receiving maybe 600,000, maybe now you're now receiving what? 400,000. So once you've done that, it means the lifestyle you are living will also go down, because you've reduced the what we call disposable income, right? So you will start to cut down some. And when you cut down, this person will say that I wanted the house, but I didn't say that. You should reduce these ones, as you have still to maintain me. Do you get the point?
Yes.
Yes? So you thought you solved a problem, and you did not solve the problem. Then this person now said that because you can't do this, we can't eat this house. So I'm leaving you. You are left with the loan plus the house. All right? You get the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So always don't do things to please your spouse.
Yeah.
Do things for the best interest of that house, for the best interest of the family, right? Not for the spouse. Like I say, that family is an institution in itself. It should have a constitution, right? So if you have the right people in the institution will grow. That's why we have many companies, but there are those companies that are performing better than
others.
What are making them to perform better than others? The people inside them.
Okay.
The human resources that they have. They make the right decisions that see that company grow.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So having that analogy, your home, your family is also an institution that should have a constitution. Your wife should know, or your husband should know what is expected of them in that home.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So even if you don't write the constitution, you can always speak it. Speak the things you expect from them, or the things that you should have.
Yeah.
And that will make the family be successful.
Yeah.
And that's bring me to communication, right? You have to communicate to your spouse, right? Yes. And what you communication can also be a source of synergy, or it can also be something that ruins the family.
Yeah.
Because if you are just uttering words which are not constructing but destroying, then it means you are destroying. So that still takes us to information.
Okay.
So we need the communication. But what are you saying? Right?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Some people are going, you go and watch these soaps, or you watch some films, and maybe those people are just passing information. And because of maybe you didn't have deep understanding of what those people are, you just take it at face value, right? You saw somebody being a man waking up in the morning and surprising the wife with tea, breakfast in bed, and you also say that now I want to implement this. You implement, and the problem
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, yes. Okay, it's a good thing, but it's very important to know what you're doing before you start doing that thing. So if you want to do this, be sure that you will do it the entire. Don't start it and stop doing it. It will bring a problem.
Okay, it's not a one-time thing, but it cannot be an everyday thing. Just those little surprises. Can't I surprise you
What
one
I'm
day?
saying, because I understand ladies to some extent. Now, if you start doing certain surprises to ladies, be sure that you can sustain the surprises.
Okay, true.
Do you get that?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to drive. I'm not saying it is bad, but be sure that you're comfortable with sustaining that. Because when you introduce something that you cannot sustain, it will bring the problem. Because you've raised the expectation.
Yeah.
You have been a white man and you're not a white man. Or you bring some, because maybe this person really received this thing very good, and it's something that they would wish to always experience, and you are needed to do it and you're not doing it.
I don't think that's westernization. It's just being a man. It should,
Is that being a man?
Yes.
That's what you say, being a man. I know you are lying. You want to lie for men to start doing things which make them victims.
Can't you do that for your wife?
I don't want to get into that. But what I'm trying to say is, I will only do such a thing if I know I can sustain.
Okay.
Right? Anything that I want to do, or anything that I'm introducing, I must be sure and convinced that I can sustain that thing. Because if you start doing something that you cannot sustain, it will bring problems.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
So still, I'm taking you back to the ideology you have.
The mindset.
The mindset you have. Okay?
Yes.
But in the first place, you must know the mindset of the person you're marrying. And that's why I usually say that to me, I will even look at the type of clothes that you put on. Right? Because that before somebody puts something on, or put a cloth on, or a certain design, or a certain things, or even those people who tie the beads, or those people who even put the tattoo. You see, before you settle with someone, you must understand their mindset.
Yeah.
If this person has a tattoo, what is their interpretation of tattoo? Right? And what is your interpretation of tattoo? And what are they expecting when they put tattoo? What is that tattoo giving? What is the feeling the tattoo is giving them? Right? So if you find that you are aligning, then go. That's the right person you are. Right? But having somebody who is already into that, then you say, I'm going to change this person. You take that person with that particular character.
That's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem. So before you settle with someone, you have to weigh the attribute of this person, right? In as much as you are looking at the physical appearance, also listen to the ideology of that person, right?
Yes.
Physical appearance will not sustain relationship because it fades.
True.
I might be handsome today, tomorrow I'm not, right? But if my ideology is okay, can ideology be distorted?
No,
It's very hard,
no.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, even if you unfortunately to get accident, but you can still speak, your ideology will not change.
Yes.
Right? So let us first factor things that cannot change easily, right? Yeah, when you are getting into marriage, before getting into things that can change with time. Right?
Yes.
Yes. So otherwise, summarize, then we call it a session.
So, beloved viewers, I hope that you have listened to him. You have gathered points here and there. So, what I'll say, your ideology matters, your mindset matters, and another thing I'd like to say about peer pressure: just live within your means, stay within your lane. If your lane is lane A, stay within it. Don't go to lane B just because, So yeah.
So thank you and see you in the next episode. Director Counsel, can you just all right.